A truly remarkable event recently took place in Washington that is currently being widely described as one of the biggest political sensations of recent days. The prominent leader of the Venezuelan opposition, María Corina Machado, personally presented her Nobel Peace Prize to U.S. President Trump. This gesture immediately ignited a massive wave of discussion and debate across the entire globe, since the Nobel Prize is widely and traditionally regarded as being non-transferable, and the prestigious status of a laureate is permanent from the very moment it is awarded.
And now, more details in our report. You're watching the Glavred Chair. I'm your host, Evgeny Serov. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel.
María Corina Machado, who was the honored recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize in 2025 for her unwavering and courageous struggle for democracy and human rights in Venezuela, held a formal meeting with President Donald Trump at the White House and made a public announcement stating that she had decided to give him her medal. She explained this move by saying that she sees Trump as a politician who, in her words, understands the suffering of the Venezuelan people and genuinely supports the fight for freedom and democracy. While addressing a group of international journalists, Machado formally declared that she personally views this medal as a profound symbol of gratitude for supporting democratic processes in Venezuela and for Trump's unwavering and remarkably firm stance against the authoritarian regime of Nicolas Maduro. According to her, this is not just a personal gesture, but a political signal that the Venezuelan opposition is counting on continued support from the United States. Machado received the Nobel Peace Prize in the fall of 2025. At that time, the Nobel Committee recognized her nonviolent struggle for democratic change, the rule of law, and a peaceful transition from an authoritarian regime to democracy in Venezuela. This decision was significant, given the years-long political crisis, repression of the opposition, and restrictions on freedoms in the country. At the same time, representatives of the Nobel Institute in Oslo have repeatedly emphasized that the Nobel Prize cannot be transferred, revoked, or awarded to another person, even if the physical medal ends up in someone else's hands. The official status of laureate always remains with the person to whom the award was given. Thus, even if Donald Trump accepts the medal, he does not formally become a Nobel Peace Prize laureate. Trump himself has certainly made no secret of the fact over the years that he would very much like to receive the Nobel Peace Prize, and he has frequently asserted that, in his own opinion, he truly deserves it for his global initiatives and foreign policy agreements. After meeting with Machado, he emphasized that he did not ask for the award to be given to him and sees this gesture as a symbol of trust and appreciation from the Venezuelan people. The meeting between Trump and Machado at the White House generated widespread attention in both American and international media. According to journalists, the talks lasted several hours and focused on the future role of the United States in supporting democratic reforms in Venezuela, as well as Washington's broader policy in Latin America. The context of this story goes far beyond a symbolic gesture. Throughout the course of his presidency, Donald Trump consistently maintained a firm and hardline stance against the Maduro regime, implemented a series of rigorous economic sanctions, and provided unwavering and public support for the Venezuelan opposition. This is exactly the set of circumstances that Machado cites as one of the primary reasons she decided to present him with her prestigious award as a gesture of gratitude. Experts note that this recent move could potentially have somewhat ambiguous and far-reaching political consequences. On one hand, it significantly strengthens and reinforces Trump's image as a prominent international player and also as a potential peacemaker, at least in the eyes of his most dedicated supporters. On the other hand, it draws criticism from those who see such gestures as political PR and a violation of the traditions associated with one of the world's most prestigious awards. There is also discussion about the possible impact of this story on the international perception of the Nobel Peace Prize. The award organizers emphasize that such symbolic actions should not undermine its authority and meaning, since the prize is awarded for concrete contributions to global peace and the protection of fundamental human rights, rather than for simple political statements or gestures. In the end, the presentation of the medal to Trump remains a purely symbolic act, not a legal or formal event. However, in the political and media spheres, this gesture has already sparked heated debates about the role of the United States, Trump's place in global politics, and the line between symbolism and real achievements in matters of peace and democracy.